Hey, welcome back to the show. It is Tuesday. We're getting closer, folks. Well, less than 7 days before we kick the Dems the fuck out of the White House. And but on tonight's show, as you can see, Walz and Wang are sitting in a tree, and we're going to talk a little bit about how our vice presidential candidate like to throw the stones to the daughter of a Communist Party official over there in China. So I guess I'll lead it off with this one. Waltz at one time in his life, he really loved Wang. All right, see you on the other side.
Break 'em on. This is America First Radio. Patriots, get your ears on because we're blowing the speakers out.
Lefty G. It is time for the Lefty G Show. The only show to get you right. Get ready to get right with Lefty. Your voice taking you down Freedom Road. Now, here's your host, Lefty G.
Let's hit the fucking road!
Yeah, kid, park my car, get my bags, and put on some weight, will you? Hey, Wang, what's with the pictures? It's a parking lot. Come on, will you? I think this place is restricted, Wang, so don't tell me you're Jewish. Okay, fine. Hey, kid, I'm Al Chervik. I'm playing with Drew Scott today. This is my guest, Mr. Wang. No offense. Oh, I can maybe have a half a dozen of those Vulcan D10s and set my friend up here with the whole schmear. You know, clubs, bags, shoes, gloves, shirt, pants. Hey, orange balls. I'll have a box of those. Give me a box of those naked lady tees, and give me 2 of those. Give me 6 of those. Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
All right, a little cheap stab at humor there. But before we get into how Waltz loves Wang, or loved Wang, or maybe still loves Wang, I don't know, or just a bunch of communists, who knows? I want to share something with you. This is a little bit of kind of where the current presidential race is, the national polling as of today. And, it's funny, we see that Trump is up by a hair there. But, the fact of the matter is I think he's doing a lot better than the mainstream media wants to report on. I think they're swallowing their tongues right now. You look at all the swing states, Republican early voting is doing tremendously well, unless, of course, the Dems and, the blue-haired little commie red diaper doper babies are lighting all the ballot boxes on fire. And I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it before, and I'm going to say it 100 times more. Folks, don't use those fucking things. I mean, stay away from those ballot boxes. I honestly, it's compromising your vote, and we already have enough trouble. As I said before, Donald Trump doesn't need to. He doesn't need to beat Kamala Harris. He needs to beat voter fraud and the machine that doesn't want him out. And one of the things I think that we're seeing is, really, I think there's a lot of elites that don't want to see Donald Trump because, there's a lot of things that he's promised he's going to unmask. The whole, sex island thing. I think the Epstein Island, I think that's going to come out. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be exposed on that thing. And now that you have the Diddy thing that's happening, I think there's a lot of, look at all of the mainstream stars and everyone else, the politicians that have come out in almost a rabid fervor to motherfuck Trump. And I think they're scared. I think they're running scared, and they should be. So, but I want to put that up there because, that's not, I don't believe that that's quite as accurate. I mean, on the positive note, Trump is ahead, but I also think that that's not as quite as accurate as what's really being portrayed. I still stick what I said. I still think he's got a 95% chance of winning, but we have to be very cognizant of the fact that he's not going up against Camel Toe Harris. He's actually going up against the machine and the voter fraud. So let's get rolling here on the show. So yeah, tonight's title of the show here is Walz and Wang sitting in a tree. So I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's not getting a lot of I'm taking a little bit of a departure from the consistent politics and the consistent message of the election. I think we all know what's going on. The Dems want to call Trump a Nazi and a fascist, and and the thing is that right now they're all choking on their lattes right now in every Starbucks, wondering what they're going to do. And what they're going to do? They're going to watch the Orange Man come back in with some more mean tweets, and I can't wait for it. I really can't. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but this is the latest story. We got the VP candidate and Minnesota governor, the stolen valor cunt that he really is, Tim Walz. He reportedly had a secret fling with a daughter of a top Chinese communist official while he was teaching in China back in the 1980s. And apparently when she called in, and she's done a lot of these, she's talked to just about everybody. They found this lady in Europe, she came out of the woodwork, and she apparently said that he treats her like a prostitute, which is probably why him and Kamala get along so well. For a long time, heels up Harris, that she felt right at home with that. Just ask Willie Brown. But the lady's name here is Jenna Wang, and she was, I don't know, in her 20s or something like that, 24, whenever it was, when old Waltz, showered her with his little method on East meets West down there in China. And Wang, now well into her 50s, said that they could not show any kind of affection in the public because of her father, some guy Bin Hui or whatever, a high-ranking official in the Chinese Communist Party, would disown her. And there's some fatherly love for you. I'm not going to get into that. But she said that Waltz led her to believe that he loved her and would give her a new life by taking her to the United States and marrying her. Now, here's the funny thing. Even if you have any kind of a relationship with anybody, right? And you're rolling around and bumping fuzzies, and he's showing her, his egg roll, and she's showing him her wonton. The fact of the matter is that they're talking about stuff, and maybe there wasn't a lot of political aspirations at that time. He was a teacher and doing whatever he was doing over there, but they stayed in contact, and that's kind of the point of what I want to talk about here. They were in contact for many years after he stopped frying her egg rolls, but. She made mention that Tim's behavior was very selfish. Well, the guy's a pathological liar. Everything about the guy is full of shit. I bet if this guy was going down to the bathroom, he'd tell you he was going to the opera. So, we already know that liars predominantly are selfish people. But she said that Waltz's behavior made her feel like a prostitute and left her severely depressed. I got to be honest with you. I think anytime this guy Tim Waltz is out of your life, you ought to throw a fucking kegger. But I don't know. Maybe they don't do that over there in Dinkland. But Waltz, as you guys know, outside of the stolen valor thing, talking about he was a combat veteran. He's not a combat veteran. The closest thing he came to the Middle East was, Germany or Italy. I'm sorry. And last time I checked, there was no combat in Italy since like 1943. So unless Waltz is a lot older than he said he is, there was nothing going on over there. And of course, once his unit was going to be redeployed to Iraq, he bummed out of the army and then lied about his rank. So there's a lot of reasons this guy is a complete piece of shit and should have nothing to do with the White House. And look what he's already done to the state of Minnesota. The first state, as I recall, during those lovely Black Lives Matters movements where he wanted to call to defund the police. Well, Timmy, how's that working out for you? Your state is a fucking hellhole right now. And that he's also, but more to this story, he's faced a lot of scrutiny over his dozens of trips to China. And he's come under fire for falsely claiming, get this, another fucking lie, that he was present during the Tiananmen Square massacre. Another great footnote in why communism sucks right there. They ran college students over with tanks. But yeah, another of the many lies this douche has told. And Wang, I just love saying that name, Wang. I don't know, there's kind of a tang to it. I like Wang. But Wang went on to say, the name Wang, I should say. I'm more of a wonton guy myself, personally. But he went on for hours and hours. And he would, I guess, talk to her and write her letters and communicate with her. And even after they were long gone, no longer, I guess, fucking around. And he would communicate with her. And she would talk about when they were together that they would stay in bed and they would have a lot of sex. And he continued to buy her gifts, according to what she said. And she also then said that she could never stay overnight because of the social conventions that were there in China. And it was very repressive. Yeah, no shit. I guess couples, as she was put it, walked around the streets of China like robots. And she said that her father would have been very, very angry if he would have found out that he was giving her the old dong treatment. But she went on to say that when she pressed Waltz about their future together and coming back to the United States with him, he suggested that all she wanted was a U.S. passport. And, obviously, that didn't sit very well with her. And that was the egg roll that broke the panda's back. And the wing ding fling was all over at that point. It wasn't going to happen anymore. And sometime later, Tim, I guess, under his multiple times, apparently, according to her, tried to contact her again. And she wasn't having any more of his, egg drop soup. And she refused to speak to him anymore. And apparently, Wang later moved to Europe and became a teacher. And she said that Waltz had lied, shockingly enough, about numerous things in his past, and he does not appear to have the character and integrity to really have one of the most important jobs in the world. And the thing is, when you really boil all the water out of the pot, the Harris Waltz campaign did not respond to any requests for comments about the allegations, because what are they going to say? As I recall, he didn't really respond to his false claim about his rank. He didn't recall about his false claims about being a combat veteran. He didn't, respond to his false claims about wearing combat ribbons and medals. And a lot of these allegations, he either didn't completely talk about it all or kind of walked around it. And so, as I've said before, this guy's full of more shit than an outhouse at an X-Lax convention. And I think this guy needs to really be disposed of, flushed down the toilet. How about that? And think about this. Tim Waltz had a relationship with the daughter of a high-ranking Chinese Communist Party official. Let me say that again. He was donging the daughter of a high-ranking Chinese Communist Party official and remained in contact with her for years afterwards. And now this prick aspires to be the vice president of the United States. Folks, voters deserve to know everything about any and every link you have to any government, especially the CCP. And, Waltz probably is more ensconced than he would ever admit. Of course, if he did admit it, it'd be a fucking lie. But it's amazing to me that this story isn't getting more talk. Of course, the lamestream media is going to make sure that this thing never comes out or sees the light of the day because, they're already choking on their tongues for the fact that the Orange Man is literally juggernauting through all of their plans. But the moment I heard Waltz spent time in China, all his lies, communist policies, and out-of-touch rhetoric, it all made perfect sense at that point to me. It really did. When I was reading this article late this morning and kind of going through some of the touch points and wondering why the fuck no one else is really talking about this a lot, it made me realize without a shadow of a doubt, not that I really had one before, but it made me realize within a shadow of a doubt that this man is just another enemy of the country. As I like to put it before, and he's an enemy within, and that's worse. A traitor is worse than a bold-faced enemy, and I think that's what this guy is. I think he's literally a traitor to what and who we are. Look what he's done, his policies in Minnesota, which that's just talk for another show. But I think he's the enemy of this country here, and it kind of explains why Kamala doesn't know how to campaign. Because let's face it, no communist knows how to campaign. They don't have to. And so I think that's why this election matters, folks. We got to make sure that we can't give these guys another foothold. We can't go another 4 to 8 years with these pricks in the White House. So make sure you get out there and do what you got to do November 5th and walk them the fuck out of here. And that's all I'm going to do. Quick one tonight. Happy Tuesday, and get out there and vote. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to continue being part of the Lefty G experience. And remember, guys, like always, peace through strength. Have a good night. Bye.